Answer me, oh my love, just what sin have I been guilty of? Tell me how I came to lose your love. Please answer me, sweetheart.
A tribute to an item of my youthful culture by the poet Laurie E. Can you answer the telephone, dear? I just heard the bell. It was only 3 shorts, surely you can tell. You know our phone is always 2 longs and a short. Came quickly back old Grandpa's frowning sharp retort. But listen in anyway, to see if the road to town is blocked, for I notice the mailman hasn't yet turned our letterbox. The line was unique, a culture unto itself. More information passed through that than from the radio on the shelf. We all knew the neighbors, their short rings and their long. If it rang 10 times they are out, or something else is wrong. Better call Shirley next door, she's a long and 3 shorts. She always knows their business, she'll give you all the reports. When your bell rang and you went out and grabbed the party line, there were always numerous other clicks, almost every time. You knew 'twas some neighbor, somewhere along the street. And then you'd not divulge to the other folk anything discreet, whether someone's trying to gain a tidbit of news they never knew. For those exciting tidbits in our village were rare and very few.
I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care.
Sometimes in the background you'd hear a familiar sound, and by the noise you could tell who was snooping around. If you heard a recurring sound like the old pendulum's tick-tock, it was surely the radio lady at the railway station with her big gingerbread clock. Sometimes you heard the noon whistle coming from the sawmill. Would probably mean it was Madge, who lived beside it on the hill. Every village had its news bag who really needed the party line, for she was always first to repeat a story each and every time. So it was a youth's rite of passage to create stories for her to hear, and laugh when she passed that fiction along the first time she came near. And when talking to a friend, we'd always use our brother's name, so we could sass someone really bad, and he would get the blame. There was a telephone office in each and every little town that coordinated each bit of news that was going around. There a little lady sat with headphones on her ear, while putting in her little plugs and listening with her ear. It operated 24/7 every day, for it was never closed. And the town's pastor and doctor's number, every resident knows.
Hello, darling.
I can still visualize a box and crank hanging on the wall. Those residents' telephone numbers were a code so easy to recall. I remember an old chap I met in a pub from Norwest Margaree. His name was Calvin McKay, and his party line was 2-3. I'm not really sure how many phones were allowed on one line, but we all knew there were never only 2 parties at one time. The phone was a great child's plaything when parents were not around. Just grab the phone's crank and handle and keep turning it round and round. The home phone would soon ding, trying to find out what kid it would be. "Were you turning that handle, son?" "No, Dad, surely wasn't me." Now the telephone system served its time, like the outhouse, faded to the past. The party line and the culture are gone, but for me, the memories will always last.
Golden days in the sunshine of our happy youth, golden days full of innocence and full of truth. In our hearts we remember them all else above, golden days